and welcome to the first episode of our brand new series called Business Builder. For our first episode, the title is How to Make Money from Social Media. And to present that is Hilik Haven, who is the CEO founder of HVMA Social Media. Hilik is a pro in the Facebook advertising, specializing in converting online audiences into customers. He's a results-oriented company and is originally from Israel. So Hilik, take it away.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Very excited to be here. Very honored to be the first guest speaker. And I want to thank everybody for taking the time and participate. And also, I really admire the fact that you want to improve your social media skills, and I appreciate that again. So I'm going to try to give you as much value as possible with some tools and tips that you will be able to implement immediately. We'll try to make it as relevant to you and your industry. Something that we said before, so I do like a discussion, so I want you to participate. I want you to feel if you have something that you need right now. I'm open to that. We're going to do some Q&A at the end as well. Allow me to share my screen, and then we'll go official from there. There you go. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, there you go. Let me officially introduce myself. Hilik Haviv, CEO and founder of HVMA Social Media. What we do on a daily basis is we are a data-driven social media marketing company. It means we convert online audience into customers using data. And in other words, the audience that are visiting your channels, means your websites, your email marketing, your social media profiles, your advertising, we want to make them paying customers. So we want to make them your customer. That's our main job. That's what we do. But this is a little bit more advanced than what we're going to do today. We're going to go to the basics.
Guns.
Excuse me? Okay, we're going to go to the basics today and try to give you some tools for gaining more followers and some tips that, again, you can implement immediately. Before we start, just like I said, we usually work with data and audience. I kind of want to know who's with us today. So please type in the chat your industry. It will help me also understand who's here, but also I will be able to give specific examples of specific industry. So that would be more valuable for you. So take a second just to write in the chat. Let me see who's with us. Okay. So I see we have bakery, we have skincare, beauty cosmetics, financial services, real estate. So you're pretty much all over. That's great. Okay, so I will use that to give you specific examples. We're gonna do 5 things today. First, we'll talk about how to know which platform fits your business, because not automatically you need to go to Facebook and Instagram like everybody thinks. You really need to know where is your audience and what they're looking for. We're going to talk about that. Then we'll move to what to post and when. I'm going to give you some tips and secrets to grow your page and profiles immediately, things that you can implement today. Then we're going to touch a little bit the advertising boosting versus the ad manager and what is the difference and why to do one over the other. And at the end, we'll do a live Q&A session. Again, you can ask anything, not necessarily about this discussion, you can ask some problem that you have right now with your business, and you want me to find a solution for you. The first thing we do is to set goals for ourselves, to know exactly which platform to go. You have to define your goals. You have to know who is your target audience. And with this, we always say that you got to go with the demographic approach. You got to know the age, the gender, the location, the social status, pretty much what they're looking for, what the audience is looking for when they log into the social networks. So if somebody, for example, goes to Facebook, they're not necessarily looking to connect with the business owner right now. They're more into the entertainment, maybe socialization, maybe see what their friends are doing. So it's different platform. When you go to LinkedIn, for example, you go to connect with a business professional. Example of age, Instagram, for example, the age level of most users over there would be 18 to 25. So we're talking about younger generation. The best trend right now that everybody hears about is TikTok. So big question, should I go to TikTok? Should I not go? So you have to think, who's the audience on TikTok? The answer to that is a very young audience at this point. I would say ages 10 to 18-ish, something like that. So you have to think what you sell, who you want to reach. If you want to go, if we're talking about the beauty or wellness industry that I saw, we have some people dealing with this right now. If you want to think, let's say, facial treatment, for example, or spa, and you want 40 plus, 50 plus, Facebook would probably be your network. Real estate, for example, if you're looking for home buyers, the chances that a home buyer at the age of 20 is not very high, so I would not suggest to go to Instagram too much. Obviously, it depends on each business with their goals and their specific targets, but these things is something that you have to put in consideration before you go to the network. You can't go to all the networks at once. There are too many of them. It's going to take you too long. So just focus on the networks that will give you the most value, and always think relevancy. Relevancy is the word that always needs to be in your head with any post, with any network, with any activity that you do on social media, because there are so many options, so many options, so much content goes up every second. You got to be relevant if you want it to have any value and people to follow you and stay with you. So to get to know the platforms, we chose the platform that we work with, but obviously there are others: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Again, to know, I'll give you an example of, for example, Twitter. Yes, it's a big network, but do you have news? Do you have announcements? Just because you have a special deal once a week, it doesn't mean that Twitter is the right place for you, because it's not enough. And Twitter is a quick, very quick, a lot of information every second. So maybe not the right network for you. Do you have longer stories that you want to do? Then again, Twitter is very short captions. So if you know the platform, you know what you can create with it. This is something that you have to combine. If you produce a lot of authentic content, if you like to take your phone all day long, do the videos and do the pictures from your business or from your personal life, maybe Instagram is the right way for you. If you're looking again to connect with business owners, with the professional world, obviously LinkedIn will be the one. If you create professional videos, if you're into videos and editing, obviously YouTube. It's also a more advanced platform. It's the biggest search engine in the world after Google. So yes, it's nice to be there, but if you want people to stay on your channel, you have to give them the value. So you have to know exactly also what you are capable of producing every day. What to post? You always think, okay, so I have the page, I don't have the content. So what to post? Again, I go back to the word relevancy. The more relevant you'll be, the more interested the audience is to stay on your channels and maybe to return, which is definitely one of the goals. You have to listen to the audience. It means make sure that they're engaging, make sure they react to the post that you upload. If you upload something and nobody likes it, nobody shares it, nobody's talking about this, nobody reacted to it, it's probably not the right one for you. It doesn't mean that every post needs to do great, but in general, we usually test it. So in general, if you give it some time and you go with a specific type of post and it doesn't work, go to a different one, try to attack it from a different angle. But listen to the audience, listen to what they react to. This is what they want. There's a reason they don't click on something or they do click on something. So you have to produce whatever is working within your agenda. Adjust to the network. This is something that you have to consider. Example for it means dimension. Instagram story, for example, would be a vertical post, but if you put it on Facebook, you're gonna have the two, black frame lines on the sides. So you have to listen to the network, whether it's vertical or horizontal. If it's a long content, if it's a short one. Again, Instagram post, for example, is up to 60 seconds, while Facebook is asking longer. We'll talk about Facebook in a bit. If you go to YouTube, for example, obviously longer videos. Twitter will ask you for shorter captions, so you can write long, many words in a Twitter post. So you have to adjust yourself to the network, and sometimes you want to post something to a few of them. We post something to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube at the same time, but we have to adjust the dimension, we have to adjust the caption. Even if it's the exact same post, it looks different on each network. So we have to adjust over there. The networks will also penalize you or reward you for a post that fits their requirements. Be authentic. This is something that we always encourage you to do. This is because of the audience. This is connected somehow to listening to the audience. People react very good to faces, to authentic, to behind the scene. It doesn't mean that you can do it all day long. I understand that. But the more you do it, the more connection you will do, then the more reaction from the audience. Always think about the word social together with the relevancy. Social networks. The people go there because they want the connection. And the more, professional graphic design stuff you give them, the more salesy you will be, the harder it is for them to connect with you. So you have to give them the authentic part. Work with a plan means don't wake up in the morning and go random post. What should I post right now? I'm not talking about Instagram story, which might be, okay, something happened and you upload it, even though I still recommend to have a plan in advance. We schedule stuff in advance. We prepare them. We kind of build campaigns for these things. But if you don't want to go too far, at least know exactly what you want to post on Mondays, what you want to post on Thursdays. If you have, we were talking about, there was a bakery, somebody here, right, that I saw in the chat. Example, maybe you decide that on Mondays, this is a stronger day for a specific type of product. And on Thursday, you want to sell something for the weekends. So you're going to show on Thursday that specific product or products. So make a plan, prepare the post in advance, schedule them if you can. That will be more efficient for you. And of course, think mobile. 80–90% of the people using their mobile, they're going to see your post on mobile. So again, it's part of the dimension, it's part of the length of the post, how they look, better colors, better quality, something that you say, if I open this on my phone, my little screen, it's still going to be easy and comfortable for me to watch it and to engage with it. So always think mobile. And emphasize on building long-term relationships and connections. Again, social networks, people want to connect, okay? They go for the entertainment, they go for the connection, they go for the relationship. They don't go for buying. Yes, obviously you can sell and buy. We'll talk about this. And this is, again, more advanced for advertising and sales, and you can make a lot of money from social media because everybody's there. But the main purpose of it is socialization and connection. And always think, how likely are you to buy from a brand you know over a brand you don't know? So even if you don't have what to post, think something that I don't recommend just to upload something just to have it, but I do recommend to come up with something at least daily, something that will keep you there, keep you in the loop. People will see you, even if they don't buy from you right now, easier for them in the future to connect with you or to buy from you when they saw your logo, they saw your post. You are now becoming a friend and easier for the audience to connect with you. There's an article on the HVMA socialmedia.com website. It's called Twitter versus Instagram. It's free. You can go and check it. It will give you some more tips and tools over there of how to decide which network is best for your business. And I definitely recommend it. What to post, what the networks will prioritize. Okay, so there's a reason something works better than the other, and the networks are pushing for specific stuff. Not everybody likes to listen to them, but if you do that, that will help you. So posting priority. First, live. Any live post will be rewarded by the network. And if you tried this before, when you upload something live, they give you a notification, say, stay with us, we're announcing your audience right now. So the network wants you to use the live, and then they will give notification to your audience, maybe to some people from another circle, if you have the relevant hashtag or something that the network algorithm feels that this is relevant to them. But live is definitely something that will reward. The second thing is video. And the video goes, there are three levels over there. The premiere video, which is almost like the live one, but it's a recorded video that you schedule in advance as a premiere. And again, Facebook, for example, will announce the people that there is a premiere video. If you have episodes, if you have some kind of announcement that you want to do, then I recommend the premiere. You don't have to do it live. You can edit this before and then still take advantage of Facebook announcing people that there is a special video coming up. Watch party is obviously something that more people connect to, and you can go more relevant to people that maybe they are your friends, or you know they are specific in a specific group, for example. And pre-recorded video is also something that is prioritized by the network. Images is the third one, and links is the last one. The reason links is the last one, and many people use links because they want to get traffic to their website, but the networks, and I'm going to touch this a little bit in a few minutes, the networks want you to stay on their platform. They don't want you to send anybody outside. So you give a link, you think, okay, great, I want to have people on my website, give me more traffic, SEO maybe, but Facebook is thinking they're going to take them away from Facebook. So I don't want to help them do that too much. And same thing goes to LinkedIn, same thing goes to Twitter. What to post in terms of the visual, try to do eye-catching images or videos, something that people will stop. Always think that people scroll and they have a lot of options on their home feed, and they need something that will catch their attention. And I will show you a few examples of posts that catch attention when you know your audience. But if you still don't, if you still test stuff, you want to upload something that people will stop, and they will be triggered. They will be curious to see what you wrote about this and where this leads to. Authentic, obviously, again, anything behind the scene, anything from your daily process, anything that is different than just a banner or just a professional, something that was created for sales or for just your brand awareness is something that I recommend. Obviously, the more creative you will be, the better. And we spoke about faces, staff, people that are preparing the post. If we're talking about food industry, how you prepare, what you do, how it goes, how it looks, what people feel. Try to make this a story, even though it can be one image, but it's still a story behind it, and try to transfer it as much as you can within one image. Here are some examples of campaigns that we did specifically for that type of audience. This one was going for pet services. Again, we analyze the audience, okay? So we know exactly who we send out. We target specific audience. So that was this is one example of a campaign that we sent to pet services, right? We wanted to get more, not pet owners, but pet services, animal shelters, hospitals, vets. So the idea is when you send them an image like this, or they get something like this on their feed, they are more likely to stop and to check it. It will trigger their curiosity. They kind of feel connected to it. Same thing goes with food. This is for restaurant owner. They see this, they are likely to stop. Bakery, for example, when you see an image like this, your chances to stop and look and check this one is higher than if you saw the picture of the dog, for example. So the point is relevancy. Trigger them. You have about 1 second, 2 seconds to catch their attention. A few other examples for the wellness industry, for kids entertainment centers, and for travel agency. So again, each one was going to specific audience. So the travel agency image, for example, was not going to restaurant owners. They never saw it. But when they see this one, this is pretty much the content they are looking to engage with. I'm going to give you a few tips that you can implement today. I hope this will be beneficial for you. So the first tip is the rule of three. And the rule of three goes to Facebook and to Instagram story. Two different things, but both of them is the rule of three. So the rule of three for Facebook, when you upload a video, make sure the video is at least 3 minutes long. Now here's why. If you try to upload a video on Facebook manually, Facebook gives you some requirements that they want you to do. Like they want the video to be HD level, they want to have subtitles, they want to have a thumbnail that is related, and they also recommend you to have 3 minutes video. So first of all, listen to the networks, right? And this is what we said before. But then again, Facebook wants to keep the people on the network, on their network, on their channels, right? So they don't want you to put a 20-second video, even though we always say people don't have any patience to watch anything right now, but still Facebook is trying to keep them on Facebook. So they recommend you to go with a 3-minute video. They feel it's more value. The algorithm will reward you for it. So try to create something that is 3 minutes video. The other rule of three for Instagram story. So people never know how many stories should I upload per day and when should I upload them. So here's what we recommend. We recommend to upload stories in set of threes. Okay, so for example, we're talking about the real estate market, okay? Real estate agent, for example. You have to go, the first story will be something behind the scene or a product. The middle story, the second one will be the finished product. And the third one will be how to get it or a call to action. So for example, talking about the real estate, the first story will be the house from the inside, the rooms, the kitchen, something that you want to show. The second story will be the house from the outside, or maybe the neighborhood. And then the third story will be either the agent inviting them to an open house or to see the house, or tell them how to contact them. If we're talking about food industry, for example, we can go how we prepare a meal, how we prepare, if it's a bakery, how we prepare a product. The second one, the product when it's ready. The third one, how to get it, or maybe somebody who just, smiling to the camera after they ate it and they enjoy it, kind of trigger the action part of it. And we recommend to go a set of three. For each one of these, we're going to talk a little bit in a second of how many of them to do per day. Second tip, Google My Business. Do not forget Google My Business. People don't treat this as a social network. They think Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. They don't think Google My Business. But Google My Business is a very important one because, once again, Google, the biggest, largest search engine in the world, will always recommend whatever is related to Google, and Google likes Google. So Google My Business is an important one for anybody who searches something on Google. So update it regularly, your times, your changes, your holidays. Upload posts. Yes, you can upload posts to it, just like on Facebook. with links to your website, because on Google you do want links. Images, do some engagement. Obviously, if you have some recommendations or reviews, answer them, even if it's a bad one. React to it, talk to the people over there, do it regularly, and it's a very important one. Number 3, is it shareable? When I said at the beginning, think relevancy, now think, is it shareable? When you go to upload something, when you're about to schedule something, think, before you upload it, how likely is the audience to share it and tag their friends? Okay, when you see a post and you just don't know what to do with it, you're just going to continue scrolling, even if it was interesting for you. In the past, you used to go with the, put a like to it. Right now, the social networks don't really pay too much attention to the likes. They want to see engagement. So they want you to comment something, they want you to share something or tag your friends. So when you upload something, you want the audience to do that. That will help you with the organic reach, which is dying anyway, but it will help the post move to a larger audience, and the algorithm will understand there is something with value here and it will reward you for it. So always think, is it shareable? Now, I'm going to tell you something. We upload a lot of posts daily for us, for clients. It's impossible to have all the posts shareable, all the posts great. Impossible. So don't worry if something is not working, but try to make it as relevant as possible to the audience and as shareable as possible. Viral videos is not something that you will plan to do. It happens if your post is great, but it's a hard one. So don't try to be viral, just try to be shareable. And if it's good enough, it's going to go to bigger circles of people. Tip number 4, Facebook cover image. So here's the problem with this one. So people upload the Facebook cover image and it stays there. But because when you upload it, it's different than uploading a normal post, you don't have to write the captions, and people tend to forget the caption. So always add description to the cover image. After you upload it, you can click on it and then write a description. Make sure that you have a link to your website or to something that is important, maybe a landing page or any booking appointment or anything like that, or order from a third party, but have the link inside the cover image and add your location. Think like this, the cover image on Facebook is the first thing that people see when they go to your network. So it's always there. Make sure you have a description to it. It's a post that will do, the results will be less than a normal post always, but you still want to have it. It stays there. You want to make sure it's complete. Tip number 5, IG stories, how much and when. So we spoke about the rule of 3, but when to post. So here is how the algorithm works with this one. When you upload a story to Instagram, they're going to move it to the left part, to the top left part of the Instagram profile of your audience in the first hour and in the last hour. Okay, the reason is Instagram think in the first hour there's a new post. Let's see if it's valued. If there's any value over there, let's move it to the front. And then in the last hour of it, after 23 hours, right? Because it's 24 hours story. After 23 hours, they're going to move it again to the beginning because it's about to disappear. So Instagram still gives you the chance to see it. But we have situations that you think, okay, if it's moving to the front, let's upload again and again. Let's upload all the time. The problem is, if you see this part, is that when people upload too many stories per day, you tend to skip it. And that's why I don't recommend to go too many, okay? Because you tend to skip. It's not gonna move you all the time to the front, and you tend to skip it, and then the algorithm will understand that there is no value there. So what you wanna do, and if we go back to the rule of 3, we recommend no more than 6 stories a day, means 2 sets of 3s. And this not to do in the same hour when you upload something. So give it at least 1 hour between one story to the other, and don't upload something in the last hour of a story. So try to schedule maybe every 2 hours, maybe every 2.5 hours, another one. Or if you go set of 3, okay, do the 3 right now, give it another 2, 3, 4 hours and do another set of 3. Okay, so try to separate between them. So it's also gonna give you the moving to the left and to the front, and also the Instagram will understand the value of it and gives the people the chance to react to it. Let me pause at this point and ask you again to write in the chat, is this helpful? Give me some feedback. Let me see if you're following, if it's good enough for you. Okay. Okay, so quick question. We'll go to Q&A, but I will answer this one quick because we discussed the Facebook cover image. We do it once a month. Once a month. We do it every beginning of the month, first of the month. It doesn't every month, but once a month. It gives a different look to your page. It shows authentic. Plus, we always recommend that you will show the audience that you have new stuff coming within your business. So again, you want them to return to your page, to your business. You want to make sure that there is a reason for them to come back. So if they come back and it looks the same all the time, then they're going to stop at some point. So once a month is what we do. It depends on how many new products, new offers you have. Maybe twice a month is good, but we do it once a month. All right. Moving on. I'm going to touch a little bit the advertising on it, and I'm going to ask you, how many of you ever said or think that Facebook advertising does not work? Okay, this is something that we hear daily. People think it doesn't work. We think it's the ultimate user error. It means you have to know how to operate it. The example that we give is that if you're gonna buy a bike right now, okay, and sit on it and don't do anything with your legs, don't move the pedals, you won't be able to say these bikes are broken, they don't work, okay? It's just not the way to operate them. You have to pedal, right? You have to move. The same thing with the Facebook advertising. Now it's complicated, I get it, it's more advanced, but it will not work if you don't operate it the right way. And you have to understand again, there are a lot of advertising, too many of them. So Facebook algorithm has to prioritize what you're gonna see, what will be on your feed. So the more relevant, the one that are done in the most professional way, better way, doing, creating better results are the one that will show on your feed or based on relevancy. But it does work, and we are an example for it. One thing that I want to touch is the boosting versus the ad manager. Personally, I do not recommend to use the boosting. Most business owners, what they do, they want to touch a little bit the advertising, so they go to the boosting option, they put some money on it. It can be $20, $100, $500, and at the end of the day, they think, I don't know if it brought me any customers. I don't know. I know it reached some people because Facebook will tell me how many people I reached. I know that I set, 25 to 54, or I know that I set in my area, if it's Sandy Springs, for example, but I don't know how many of them actually converted into customers. I don't know how many of them went to my website. I don't know how many of them walked through my door or put their credit card and bought from me. The boosting option will not give you that. It's just going to be a quick way, maybe for brand awareness. I don't recommend that. You won't be able to retarget the audience if we go again to a more advanced level, which is the way to make money from the advertising. So I definitely recommend to go with the ad manager. But I also in general recommend to consider the advertising as a very important tool. The organic reach for Facebook is not dying, it's dead. Facebook took it down to roughly 1% of the audience. And just to give you an example in numbers, if you have right now, let's say 500 likes on your page, this means 1% of it, about 5 people will get it on their feed because it's very small numbers. So maybe 6, 7, 8 people, but still very, very small numbers. Even if you have, 1,000 people, then, very small numbers. So the organic reach is dead. The way to move it is either with engagement, but it's a difficult one, or with advertising, which will reach more audience and give you more exposure. Just ways of using the advertising is either brand awareness, lead generation, web traffic, just to get more traffic to your website, retargeting and conversion options. Again, it's once you build your audience, you will be able to do that. And of course, if you use email marketing, for example, then lead generation and then use it with the emails is something that is recommended. But again, you have to have a plan and to do things in order. Again, before we go to the Q&A, I will thank you. I will tell you again, you are welcome to go to our channels to follow us. It's free channels, obviously. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. On our website, you have a lot of content that you can use for your business right now. We will take that presentation as well. If you want to download it, we'll upload it to our website later on today. You'll be able to go there and download it, again, free. So you'll be able to use that. And of course, you are welcome to connect with us. You're welcome to connect with me personally also. I'm on LinkedIn. You have here the link to it. I'm always open to new connections and discussions and to help business owners. And just like I told Suzanne before, anybody that is in the chamber has even more advantage. So obviously, I encourage you to connect. Okay, let's do some Q&A in the chat, or if Suzanne, if you want to open the option for them. Ask me maybe things related to your industry, something that you want right now to solve. And let's see if we can solve it for you.
You can either ask your question in the chat, turn your camera on, unmute yourself, whatever y'all prefer.
Hi, can I ask a question?
Sure, Jennifer.
Hello.
What industry are we talking about?
Financial services.
Financial services, okay.
So we have a presence on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I'm just wondering, is Facebook even the right place to be, except for more like you mentioned, the social posts like behind the scenes or some really nice client stories of client success stories. But as far as like posting kind of like content about, I don't know, how to save for college or your taxes, feels like Facebook, I don't know that that's really the right place. Should I be differentiating the posts?
First question I have, who is your audience? Who are you trying to reach? And what is exactly the service? Because when you say financial services, we have, for example, right now, we have financial services of fixing your credit. We have financial services for businesses, loans, for example, PPP loan and other funding for your business. And we have also a client that is doing financial services as they consult a lot bigger businesses of getting funds from government funding, for example. So which type of services are you giving? Who is the audience that you're trying to reach?
I represent financial planners and a tax service. So okay. Similar audience, small business owners, as well as, individuals looking for advice either on their taxes or financial planning. Somewhat similar. I mean, they're two different companies, but those are the types of companies I represent.
More tax related, more accounting?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, definitely Facebook is a place to go with any tax and any accounting services together with LinkedIn. I wouldn't go to Instagram, for example.
No.
In that case, depends on how much activity you have. If you want to go check the Twitter as well. But if we're talking about Facebook right now, I would definitely consider being there all the time with the text services, with tips, with tools, with anything to show that you're an expert. And then when the text season comes, then it's easier to buy from you or connect with you. Something that we did before And that was at the beginning of the year, with the tax season. So what we do is from pretty much June or July of a year until December somewhere, we're doing a lot of tips, daily tips, videos, show the expertise, show how we help people, but not praising ourselves, right? Give them something that is good for them to think. Because I'm a business owner, even though I don't do my taxes right now, I do it, let's say in February or March or April, I still do the accounting every month. So talk about QuickBooks, talk about anything that is related to the balance sheet, anything like this. And then something that we did and was very successful, November 15, we started with a campaign that goes about the tax return tax season. And that campaign went for 2 months until January 15. At that point, it was enough. We didn't need to go any more than that. It was lead generation and conversion at some point, but it was pretty much putting a lot of power and a lot of time, if you want, on these 2 months after they saw us, after they engaged with us, after they saw that we can solve their problem. Now I'm more comfortable to contact Jennifer and say, you know what, Jennifer, I need you to do my taxes. Because I already know that you are the best price, because I know you're gonna give me the best return. I know you're gonna give me the best value. I know it's gonna be quicker. I know all the tips that you gave me all year long, and I was following you, and it was great for me. So Facebook is definitely the place for it. You have a lot of business owners over there. Here's another tip I will give you, okay? Because this one is not an easy industry, okay? Because it's less visual.
Right.
When you go, for example, to target your audience, whether it's advertising or when we say campaign, it doesn't have to be paid campaign. We definitely recommend at the end to do a paid campaign, but even if you go non-paid, don't go to campaign and look for CEOs or business owner or small business owner. It's too broad, and they have a lot of other options, and your post will probably not be shown. Go deeper. Think, if I'm a business owner, what exactly am I looking for when I go there? So for example, QuickBooks, okay, or balance sheet. This is something that a business owner will think or deal with, but a small business owner, not necessarily, because small business owner have other things as well. So go down inside their interest. Maybe go inside TV shows, articles, websites that you know are relevant. Okay, if you, for example, if you take some articles from accounting website or some kind of text related, but from a website that is well known, and you know people might share it, they might see value because, I don't know, Forbes, okay, has something related to it. So post this one, and then it's more relevant to the person that you're looking for.
Heli,
this
we
make
have
sense?
another question here.
Okay.
And it's 11:40, almost 11:50, so I want to make sure that we can cover
Okay.
it. What are the challenges to advertising professional services on social media when your target audience are small to mid-sized business owners?
What are the challenges? The challenges is, what you mean, like financially, like they have less options? What do you mean?
I think it's, I don't know specifically, but I think in general, challenges to advertising professional services on social media. I think.
Okay,
that's a
I'll go with
question.
pretty much, yeah, I see the question. I'll go with pretty much the same idea I told Jennifer. The challenge will be to narrow down their interest. Okay, so if we're talking about small business owners, now start to think what they are engaging with, where they are hanging, okay, where I will find them. So if you know exactly what they're thinking and what triggers them and why they go there, and that's the challenge. So what we do, we break down the audience, and then one more thing that you can do is we call it the pain point, okay? Try to think, what is their pain point? What is their problem right now that you solve? So if you have a problem that you can solve, they're gonna listen to you. If you're just gonna go and say, hey, I'm gonna give tax services, for example, like Jennifer said, okay, everybody's giving tax services in my area, so I have other options. But what is the problem you solve other than somebody else? You give me better price, you give me better customer service, you do it quicker, something like that. Then the challenge will be to get inside their head, break down the audience to pieces, to, again, location, age, interest, mix those metrics together. And once you know this, it will be easier for you to find the right audience and then give them the right message.
We have a follow-up to that question. Is it worthwhile? And is LinkedIn the best media?
For advertising for small to mid-size owners, no, I don't think LinkedIn is the best media. And one thing about LinkedIn other than Facebook is that advertising on LinkedIn will be more expensive because the system is different over there. On LinkedIn, it's cost per click, similar to the Google advertising, while on Facebook, it can be either by impression or it can be also by click, but it's going to be cheaper because the audience is bigger on Facebook and the chances to reach the people is bigger. So I wouldn't go to LinkedIn advertising in that matter, at least not at the beginning. I'll go to Facebook first, try to reach the right audience, so see what people react to, and then test the LinkedIn.
Great. Well, that's all we have time for today. And Helix, I want to thank you again for presenting this very fact-filled presentation, and remind everyone that Helix website is hvmasm.com. So thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, everybody.
We look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you.
We also have next week a business builder as well with Shannon Gill, and that's going to be on Pandemic Pivot, so you can go on the calendar and register for that. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.